What is the big data? Big data is the bulk amount of data which is difficult to analyze and process. Well, what are the problems arises with the big data? Well, the major challenges are difficult to store the data and difficult to analyze and process it. Where these big data are generated? Well, there are different sources of data from this. A huge amount of data is generated, such as social media, cloud, healthcare, government, education, banking, and Internet of Things. Now let's see it. Well, in social networking sites such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, there are millions of people uploading their pics, share videos, share their location. In online streaming sites such as YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, people are watching online videos. And e-commerce sites such as Amazon, eBay, Flipkart, where people are spending their time, and these companies uses their data and analyze it and do real-time recommendation from it. You guys are surprised after knowing the fact that in every single minute on the internet, 3.7 people are searching on the Google, 266,000 people are watching Netflix, and 2.4 million people are created their snaps, and 38 million people are doing WhatsApp messages. 1.1 million people are swiping on the Tinder, and 1,74,000 people are scrolling their Instagram feeds, and 9,73,000 people are logging into the Facebook. Isn't it surprising? Well, this big data can be categorized into three different parts. The first is structured data, which is usually in the form of tables in rows and columns, which can be easily analyzed in the form with arguments. And another form of data is semi-structured data, which is in the form of JSON, XML, CSV, and TSV file. And the next is unstructured data, which is in the form of log files, audio, video, and images. This type of data, semi-structured and unstructured, is very difficult to store and process and store huge amount of space. Well, Hadoop is the solution from the big data. Hadoop is the framework that allows us to store and process large data sets in parallel and distributed fashion. Well, Hadoop can be categorized into two parts. First is HDFS and a MapReduce. HDFS is simply a Hadoop distributed file system which allows us to dump any kind of data into the cluster without defining any type of schema, which is used for storage purpose, and a MapReduce which allows a parallel processing of the data stored in HDFS. It is used for data analysis. Now the question arises, how can we store our data into the HDFS? In traditional system, we are using a bulky server for storing our data. But in case of Hadoop, we are using a commodity hardware. We can easily store our data in such commodity hardwares, and in case of failure, we can replicate our data into the different commodity servers so that if one's fail, then we can recover from the another. The HDFS part can be divided into the major two parts. The first is name node and a data node. The name node is called a master node. It's also called a brain of HDFS, which stores the information that where the data nodes are present. In HDFS, we are distributing a single file into multiple chunks in the pieces of files ranging from 64 to 128 MBs, and these files are distributed around various clusters. So if one fails, then we can recover it. And the minimum number of replication factor is 3. So name node contains the information of this data node and process it. And the another thing is parallel processing. Now let's see how HDFS processes the data. For this we have a concept called MapReduce. The mapper function maps the data logic to their data nodes. In MapReduce, we are sending the process to the data, not data to the process. So we are sending our processing logic to this data node, and from this, after processing, the reducer function work, which sends the processed data back to the name node. And that's how the data analytics is possible in Hadoop. Well, that's it for this session. If you like my video, then please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.